going on, everybody? I'm Riley from Goosebumps, guys, and today we are going to be doing my book review for Night of the Living Dummy. Now, I am still a little bit sick, but I'm getting better, much better. The sinus thing is going away, so, let's get right into our first category, the blurb. He's no dummy. Lindy names the ventriloquist dummy she finds Slappy. Slappy is kind of ugly, but he's a lot of fun. Lindy's having a great time learning to make Slappy move and talk, but Chris is jealous of all the attention her sister's getting. It's not fair. Why does Lindy always have all the luck? Chris decides to get a dummy of her own. She'll show Lindy. Then weird things begin to happen. Nasty things. Evil things. No way a dummy can be causing all the trouble. Or is there? Reader beware, you're in for a scare. That's the blurb right there. Explains the story pretty well, but it's a little misleading because, you might think Slappy's the main character, which I'll get more into that because I got a bone to pick with this book. This is going to be the lowest rank of, lowest review we have so far, out of all the books that I've reviewed so far. But anyway, yeah, let's move into the next category, which is the book. So now for the book category, this book was released in May of 1993. It has 134 pages, and it is the 7th book in the original series. It is one of R.L. Stine's most popular Goosebumps books. The tagline is, he walks, he stalks. The cover is obviously Slappy, an amazing cover. I love the cover. That's not the problem. The color scheme's weird, like the ketchup and mustard color scheme. But that's really it for the book category. Now we're going to move on to the positives category. Okay, so now for the positives. I don't know. There's some positives, like the story. I like the story, personally. It's a good story. But, well, actually, I'm not going to say anything negative because that's for the negatives. But the positives are, obviously, the cover art. The tagline's okay. I don't really like the color scheme because it doesn't match the cover art. And then last positive is probably the story. I like the story. I like the introduction of the dummies and everything. I like the book. It's a good book. But let's move on to the negatives. Alright, now for the negatives. The story is a negative and a positive at the same time. I like the story. It was an enjoyable read, but it is very misleading. When you think of Goosebumps, who do you think of? Some might say The Haunted Mask. Some might say, that's really it. Usually people think of The Haunted Mask. Or Slappy. Slappy's the guy that you always think of when you think of Goosebumps. I mean, let's be real. There's been so many Slappies. There's been this Slappy. There's, all the cover art Slappies. There's the one from the 90s show with the orange hair. There's the one from the 2023 show, which was a really cool design, by the way. There was the one from the movies, which was okay. But yeah, you always think of Slappy when you think of Goosebumps, because he's, been set up as the main villain. He's been set up as this, really bad character. But he's not even in the first book. Well, he's in the first book, because it says it here. But basically, so the story of this book is, two twin sisters. One is Lindy and Chris, and then Chris. So Lindy and Chris, Lindy finds a ventriloquist dummy in, the trash or something called Slappy as she learns ventriloquism. But then the other sister gets jealous and also wants to learn ventriloquism. And her parents buy her a doll, which is Mr. Wood, who's a redhead dummy. And he's the main villain of this book. The main villain is Mr. Wood, not Slappy, even though he's on the main page. He's on the cover art. He's mentioned a lot on the back. Sorry. Give me a second. Really bad sinus stuff. Where was I? Oh, yeah. He's mentioned a lot on the back. He's front and center on the cover. He is in the book. I'll give it that. He's in the book. But he is a side character, way to the side, because he does nothing except for be a ventriloquist dummy that the sister learns. But then Mr. Wood, He's the big old bad guy. He's the one that comes to life when the spell's read, which I didn't like because this book advertises Slappy as the main villain. It's the first Night of the Living Dummy book, and all the other ones, because there's a lot of Slappy books. Slappy's the main villain, he in the second, and all that. And then you just go to this one, right here. And where is he? He's a side character. Mr. Wood. I don't even like Mr. Wood. He's like mid. I'm gonna pause this real quick so I can get rid of my sinuses. I gotta blow my nose or something, but alright, I think my sinuses are a little better and I have some beef jerky, so. Anyway, I know I'm dragging this on, but I really don't like this book. It was enjoyable to read. Every Goosebumps book's enjoyable to read. Well, most of them. But I just didn't like how Slappy's not the main villain. He's on the cover. Mr. Wood should be on the cover. This should be Mr. Wood. That should be Mr. Wood. You know? Make his hair red, and that's Mr. Wood. And it would have matched the color scheme better. Because of the red and the red hair. It would have been better. Not this pile of crap. I'm a hater for this book. I know it seems like that. I did really like reading this book. I did. It was creepy. You know, it's a creepy book. But barely any Slappy. Mr. Wood was annoying. I didn't really like Mr. Wood. You know, there was creepy parts with him. But all in all, he was kind of annoying. Then, you know, the twist. The beautiful twist. Because guess what? Slappy's not a main character. He doesn't become a main character until the twist. Slappy's not even the main person in his own book. He's the twist. Twist. Because at the end of the book, Mr. Wood gets ran over by a steamroller and he's dead. That's great. And then Slappy grabs one of the girl's arms or something like that. I read this a while ago. He grabs one of their arms and says something. Says, I might be able to find what he says at the end of this book. He says, give me a minute. Give me a minute to find it. Okay, yeah, the very last page. As she leaned over the chair to grab the window frame, Slappy reached up and grabbed her arm. Hey, slave, is that other guy gone? The dummy asked in a throaty growl. I thought he'd never leave. Right there. What? What kind of twist is that? What kind of twist is that? I mean, really? They come back, and that's even worse. That just honestly makes me even more mad, because I just remembered that means that he's been alive the entire book since she read the spell. Maybe even before that. And he didn't show himself. I don't know why. Was he jealous of Mr. Wood? Or something. I don't know. Because he asks if the other guy was gone. And he refers to the person as slave. Which, I mean, that's kind of I thought that was abolished. But anyway, no. Jokes aside, this book really makes me mad with the twist. I can't explain it. It's so annoying. Because he was alive. So he could have been the main character. He could have done creepier things. Instead, he was a background character, and he got knocked over a couple times by what we can only assume is Mr. Wood, or he did it on purpose to frame Mr. Wood. You never know. I mean, anything really, because he was alive. But, yeah. I'm going to stop yapping, because it's probably annoying to hear how much I yap. But, I mean, hopefully some of you can agree that, the first Night of the Living Dummy book, and Slappy's put to the side, not even utilized. It's just Mr. Wood, and he's not even really great. He's Like, his design's creepy from what I've seen of, like, what people think he looks like, because it's only described. And people think that the 90s Fox TV show adaptation of Slappy, they think that was Mr. Wood, because they were gonna... See, this book review doesn't even have... 7 minutes, jeez. I just realized how long we were going on, but this book doesn't even have an episode. That's why we're not doing that category today, because they thought it was so boring and so insignificant that it didn't even deserve an episode. And so people think that they were gonna make the episode and then decided against it, and so they had Mr. Wood already made because he was the main thing, and they just used that puppet for Slappy because he has the red hair, which I believe that theory. I think that's completely accurate, and I'm not complaining, because I like that version of Slappy. That might be my favorite version of Slappy. But, well, besides the 2023 show, that was pretty cool looking. But, anyway, enough yapping. I didn't like this book. You probably shouldn't read this book, honestly, because Slappy he only speaks until the very end. So if you don't read this book, you're missing out on nothing. Really, you're missing out on nothing. And yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to the final rating, because we're skipping the book versus TV category. This section's already gone on long enough. 8 minutes of me yapping. So it's gonna get a low rating, but let's move on to that. Okay, now for the final rating. I will be 100% honest. It's a fun book. You know, reading it, it is what it is. It's okay. It's a good read. If you read it, you're not going to hate yourself. You're going to be like, okay, it was fine. Not the greatest. But I just can't get over how much Slappy's barely even in the book. He's mentioned, obviously. And he speaks at the end for the twist. And if you look at it from a twist standpoint, it is a good twist. Like when this first came out. How about this? Let's put aside what we know. Okay, let's pretend that this first came out, okay? Wow, this first came out. This was an interesting, fun book. Mr. Wood came to life. He was alive as a ventriloquist dummy. Now, that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. And then the other one was also alive. That is a cool idea. Now we're back to the present. Still a cool idea. I think it is a cool idea when it was first being written. But when you look back at it, how many books Slappy's been in, how he's been in both movies, the TV show, both TV shows. He is the main villain of Goosebumps. You can never get rid of this guy. He's even the main villain right now of the Goosebumps guys, Goosebumps series. He was in the first episode. He's going to be in the second, and the third, and the fourth. Because we got Slappy's Not Happy, Night of the Living Dummy, Night of the Living Dummy 2, and Night of the Living Dummy 3. We're already working on Night of the Living Dummy 1. Slappy's Not Happy was kind of It wasn't great. Just like this. You know, the first can't always be great. The second one's gonna be better. Just like the second Night of the Living Dummy book. So, I'm not gonna be too harsh with this book, but I am gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Because usually I give books a 9 out of 10 or higher. Like with the Horror Camp Jelly Jam, I gave that an 11. It's my favorite book. This is going to get an 8 from me. Actually, a 7.9. Almost an 8. But a little less than an 8. Just because I can't get over how much Slappy's barely in this book. And it doesn't really set him up very well. Except for, like, you know, the line, like, hey, slave, is the other guy gone? It's alright. It's definitely not gonna be the worst rated that I review. But it's not anywhere close to the other ones. But, yeah, I'll review those soon, though, because I did get a copy of Night of the Living Dummy 3, but I can't do that yet until I do the second one. So, anyway, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is a longer video, because I rambled on a lot, and I really apologize, and I hope that you did stay until the end, because, you know, obviously, I like it when people watch my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications so you never miss a video. Follow the Instagram. It's in my bio. Or is it my bio? I don't know. Description bio. Somewhere on my channel you'll find it. My Instagram is just the Goosebumps guys. All one word. Just like this channel. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's book review. Go follow the channel, the Insta. Go subscribe to this channel. And, yeah, that's really it. In the next video, I've been lazy for this week. You know, we had a lot going on. Christmas Eve, Christmas. Yesterday, I was busy all day long. And I was supposed to release a Christmas special, either Christmas Eve or Christmas. It didn't happen. So now I'm going to rebrand it as not a Christmas special, my holiday special, because it's winter and it's in between holidays, New Year's and Christmas. So that should be uploaded tomorrow, and then another secret video Sunday, hopefully. And yeah, you're gonna really enjoy those videos though. Those 2 videos are gonna be bangers. And then next week I'll be back with another special video. Cause this week I did top 10 favorite villains. Next week I'll hold a poll on my Instagram, and we'll see whatever you guys choose. But anyway, with that being said, without further ado, we're gonna end this. It's been way too long. I hope you enjoyed this video. One more piece of beef jerky for the road. It's delicious. I love beef jerky. Anyway, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.